Hi, welcome to my channel. I say this with love 33. My name is Leanne, and I have created this channel to have a safe, raw, truthful space to communicate about life, about the spirituality of life, things that we are unaware of, but that we feel each day. So thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, please give it a listen. And if you like it and something resonates with you, if something speaks to you, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If you are a returning visitor, thanks for being here. I have been working today on my computer and educating myself and doing more research and self-reflection about the topic of the inner child. Now, I had made a video just a little while ago about this, and I cannot stop thinking about it. It just has touched my heart in such a way to where I'm going deeper and I'm unpeeling more layers of my own inner child and my relationship with my inner child and my healing. And I'm sitting here working and typing and reading, and I'm like drinking my hot tea because today's a cold, rainy day. And I'm like, you know what? I just got to turn on the camera and talk because I'm really feeling that I have so much to share, that I know so many people have the same feeling, the same circumstances, unaware of why they do things in their life, perhaps unaware of why they are the person that they are and who they have become into their adult lives, which is a direct reflection of the wounded inner child and perhaps even a healthy inner child. It goes both ways. But mostly, like, my thoughts right now and today, I'm like reflecting on the wounded inner child because it's so huge, it's so significant. And in my life, I feel like I have come across each day more people out in the world that are dealing with a wounded inner child instead of a healed and a healthy inner child. So as I was reading and writing and journaling, I'm reflecting on my own personal story. And I will share it with you because everything I tell you is the truth and my personal truth, and it is going to be able to touch somebody out there and perhaps help you with your journey. So as a child, when I was 6 months old, my biological father and my mom got divorced, and I never saw him ever. I found him when I was 21, but that's a whole other story. So anyway, what I want to go into is the aspect of energies and traumas and wounds that we are unaware of, that stick into our subconscious, and then we act out personalities and traits, and we wear masks because of these instances. Now, when I think back to myself, and I was just like, I had an aha moment like 20 minutes ago before I started filming. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I truly have the inner child wound of abandonment. And I was videoing the other day. I kind of felt I did, but I didn't fully realize it. But today I'm like, oh, snap. My biological father abandoned me and my sister. She was 2, I was 6 months. Now, I was too young to know that, right? But my soul and the trauma that impacted into my soul stuck in me, in my subconscious, buried itself down. And throughout my whole childhood, adolescent, teenage years, adult life, that abandonment wound that was not conscious but stuck in the subconscious played out in so many ways. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is huge. I got to share this. Like, I got to help people because I know there's billions of people out there that have been abandoned by a parent. And I know the effects. And I need to get it out there to help you guys. So from the abandonment of my biological father and then never seeing him, he had no part in my life, no interest, no anything. until I went out and found him, that created a wound in me. And let me get my little note because I get so excited that I forget things and I don't want to forget anything. The abandonment in my childhood, my infancy, gave me the mask of being dependent. I was abandoned and I did not learn independence. And that carried on with me for the first 54 years of my life. So that was the first abandonment wound when I was 6 months old by my biological father. The second huge aha moment that I had was the second abandonment wound from my mom. And I had relationship with my mom, which, as I have stated in previous videos, you know, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it's what I called in and what I asked to learn lessons on in these life. And I helped her and I gave as much as I possibly could. And I was the adult throughout our entire relationship until one day before she had passed, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years before she had passed, she had decided to not speak with me or my sister anymore. Like, she abandoned us completely. And you know, that hurt at that time, but I was more on the aggressive defensive type, like, I always pay your rent, I buy your stuff, I take care of you financially because you always say we're family and that's what family's for. And like, out of guilt and out of like feeling like I had to because she's my mom, I did all these things and I overgave and I overstepped my boundaries to not let her grow and find her own strength. Boy, hindsight. So once I stopped spitting out the money to help her, she abandoned me and my sister. Now, as an adult, I think I was 30, no, I was older than 34. I think I was 48. I figured out the math. I had to been like 45, excuse me. I was 48 when she passed. I was about 45 when my mom abandoned me. And so I'm an adult. I got my kids. I got my own life. But let me tell you, that abandonment goes deep, even as an adult. To be abandoned by your mother, who has given you life, who you have had relationship and have loved, and you know, you wouldn't be here without her, that hurts, that stings. And that went deep inside the subconscious. Now, as typical as I did with every other thing, I did not allow myself to feel. And I just kind of pushed it down and went on with my daily life, which at that time wasn't very healthy because I was not a healed person, but I was abandoned by my biological father and I was abandoned by my mother. So that's the two most important people in your life who gave you life abandoned me. So as I sat here and read and researched and reflected more on the inner child, I was just like, oh my God, that's so huge. That is so huge. And even though I thought I was so stoic and that's life and everybody gets abandoned by their parents and whatever, just keep going. No, like, I had to face that. I had to feel into that. I had to let the emotions flow of like, damn, you know what? It hurts to be abandoned by your parent. And the thought of, because I'm a mom and I'm a grandma, I could not ever imagine ever abandoning a child. Like, that's just not in my soul or my psyche. And that made it hurt even worse because I'm like, how could your parent just abandon you? But that, you know, that's part of life and that's part of the lessons here on life. But my inner child needed to have that healing. And when I thought back and went into my healing journey and I went to my breathwork session at Awaken and I went in to heal my inner child and the abandonment, I don't think I touched upon the abandonment during that space, but I have now. And like, especially today, it was like, oh, dang, that's huge. And now I can see how I carry the 5 core wounds of an inner child, how I have brought them into my whole life, into my adulthood. And now I can finally see the light and be like, oh, I get it. I get it. I can help you guys. I understand it. I feel it. I'm in it. It is deep, deep, deep wounds that we don't even remember or are conscious of. But our subconscious holds on to every little thing that was going on in our childhood and earlier. So I just wanted to share with you guys, like, if you're feeling in lack, if you're feeling like you control everything too much and you can't let anybody control anything, if you're feeling that you are rigid, if you are a people pleaser, if you are withdrawn and avoidant, which I was, and that was from rejection, which goes back into the abandonment. So my other aha moment was like, oh snap. The abandonment from my biological father also was a form of rejection. I, as a little baby infant, was rejected by my father because he opted not to see me or be part of my life. But I didn't make that choice. I didn't know that. I, at 6 months old, didn't be like, well, you're rejecting me. It's like, holy shit. Okay, I get it. I get it. And that that helped get me to the space of wearing the avoidant mask. I avoided everything negative in my life. I couldn't stand any confrontation. If there was any sign of discomfort, confrontation, sadness, heaviness, I avoided it. I avoided that like the plague. And boy, let me tell you, when I had my kids and was married, my over people pleasing skills and my dependency on everybody, I could not fathom that anybody that I love in my circle, in my family, would ever feel, oh, shit, this is so deep, those deep inner child wounds that I had of abandonment and rejection. So I did everything in my power to not let them ever feel anything of discomfort or make a mistake or, fall down and get back up and wipe off your knees. You're going to be okay, because apparently that was like so deep within me that I couldn't let anybody that I love go through that same thing unconsciously. Like, I did not know that that's what I was doing, but hindsight, whoa, that's what I was doing. And if you're a parent and you find yourself with these masks of like people pleasing, avoidant, controlling, rigid, oh, stop and take a breath and look deep inside yourself and feel into yourself and look into your inner child. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, because this is your first time here, go watch my video about inner child. I didn't know what it was for the first 54 years of my life, and it is just such a magnificent, energetic space to feel the weight of the world lifted off your shoulders when you can go in and heal and reparent your inner child to the way that you needed to be parented. But also be careful not to fall into that victim mentality, because you also called in and chose your parents before you came to incarnate on this earth to teach you the lessons that your soul has called in. So it's a very slippery slope. You can easily feel like a victim, but I'm asking you to just sit quietly and quiet your mind and open your heart and feel into your soul. Feel your inner child. What does that inner child need? What does that inner child need to be told? It starts small. I see you. I hear you. I love you. You are strong. You are safe. You have been through the ringer and we did it together. So deep. This has been beautiful. So I also offer and put out there a meditation video on going in and speaking to your inner child. Perhaps it'll open up an energetic space to relieve some of that heaviness that you might be carrying around with you, and you might not even know why. It might be able to help release like your mentality, if you have the victimhood mentality, like you're a victim in life and life happens to you and not for you. Because as a child and a wounded inner child, life is happening to us out of our control. We're just little babies and little kids. Although we called it in, but we're still little kids and don't have any control of that. As adults, we do have the choice to make if we would like to go in and heal that and release all of that heavy, heavy baggage and talk to our inner child and give them the emotional regulation that they probably so badly craved and lacked because their parents weren't able to give it to them, or the caretaker. Feel into that. Meditate on that. Allow yourself to just sit in silence and truly feel the feelings that come up about your inner child. Perhaps nothing will, but maybe it will. I'm just giving you some tools that have helped me, because this has been a profound moment and clarity, in which I talk about in my videos of like, you're always peeling those layers, and here I come across a pretty deep one today that I never even thought of. And I'm on part of this healing journey. Like, I feel like I'm getting closer to the edge of it, but we're never fully to the edge of it. And that's just even more prominent today. Like, dang, it's just so beautiful. But it's a choice. It's a choice. And I do say this with love. So thank you for being here and listening. I hope that something that I said can possibly help you. And if you resonate with any of this, or something triggers and sparks something in you and you get some feelings inside, feel into that. Allow yourself to be aware of it. Feel it, push into it, heal it, and then release it. And then you're going to notice like you just become so light and filled with joy and peace. And you can then turn around and help others and offer your guidance and your experiences to others. And we can all come back to ourselves with love, unconditional love for ourselves, to cut the cords of fear, guilt, and shame. And you need to heal that inner child before you can do that. So I say this with love, 33. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. Namaste.